Here we go again on our own. Raider Nation's going down this road we've never known. Like a candle in the wind, I was born to Raider alone. But I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. I'm tired of a fucking tie. What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming off of the preseason Game 3 victory. What? It wasn't a victory? Did we go 0-3 in the preseason? Remember many years ago we went 0-4 and we made it to the playoffs and or the Super Bowl game? So we went 0-3. That means we're going to the bowl, right? No. We tied. We tied. It's win, lose, or die. Raiders for life. But there's also another slogan that goes win, lose, or tie. Raiders till I die. So we got a tie in the preseason. I'm proud of these young players. We're going to talk about the game and my thoughts from it. And there's a few storylines that might not have been talked about, but I'm going to. Because apparently Mikey Raider's controversial now. Mikey Raider's controversial now. You see the blinking lights? Those are the blinking lights of Las Vegas Raiders. They're partying right now. Why? Because it's Max Crosby's birthday. The legends are in town. And I'm wearing a legend jersey. Raiders are going to get crazy tonight. I hope there are no arrests, like this little kid said. They asked a little kid in an interview how the Raiders would do this year, because he was a Raider fan and he went to the practice the other day with his father. And he was wearing Raider jersey and everything. And they said, how are the Raiders going to do this year? And he said, we ain't going to the Super Bowl. We ain't going to the Super Bowl. It ain't going to happen. Kids, tell it like it is. Are you guys going to hate on him? Are you going to call him not a Raider fan? He's very young, and he's already knowledgeable on the Raiders or the recent history. That kid speaks his mind. He's the next Mikey Raider. They also asked him a question on how the players and the team can do to maybe win more games and maybe go to the Super Bowl. And then the kid said with these 3 words, don't get arrested. It sucks and it hurts because it's true. And that's what you're going to get on this channel moving forward all year long. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for early and exclusive content. And Raiders Roundtables coming up. I believe I have merchandise available. I'm going to have more in the future. And donation portals below if you'd like to buy me some tacos to help me out. Because I'm trying to make a few bucks. But first, real quickly, from the bottom of my heart to yours, please, my family, one person in my family is on a bad path again. And he needs prayers and thoughts while clinging to life to have another comeback story, or else it's 3 strikes and you're out. Please send well wishes and positive energy for my family member. It's tough for a lot of people. Alcoholism and drugs kill everybody. We'll leave it at that. All right. I watched today's game with the new NFL helmet That's right. You know how you're allowed to put like a helmet on top of a helmet on top of a helmet? I watched today's entire game like this with my new helmet. Red 42! Red 42! Devontae, are you going to play? Oh, you got something? All right, stay over there. Jacoby, Brock Bowers, hot route. Hot route. Red 42. Spider White 2 banana. Hut hut. Hike. That's right. I'm going to do the rest of this video wearing the new NFL helmet coming this way in the next couple of years. Players are going to look like the guy from Spaceballs. Remember that dark helmet guy? That big helmet guy from, what was his name? Darth Helmet from Spaceballs? Just trying to have some fun in a dark time. All right, let's talk about today's game. We knew this was going to be the Nathan Peterman, Carter Bradley game to find out who makes the team as possibly the third string quarterback. And we definitely wanted to see some stuff from players like Dylan Lobb, DJ Glaze, and some of these young players like Christian Wilkerson, Travis McAllister, I believe his name is. And we were in for a show. It didn't start out that way. It looked it looked bad. It looked really, really bad early on. Is that because Nathan Peterman started the game? I don't know. If you guys want to see not a play-by-play, but like a drive-by-drive analogy from me, check me out on X at Mikey Raider, and you'll get all of my thoughts while I was watching the game. That's a better representation of what actually happened than my after knowledge, which ain't so great. But I had a question when I realized the 49ers starters were going to play in today's game. I was like, why are they doing that? Then I started watching other highlights from games yesterday and earlier today and looking at pregame footage for the other preseason games. And a lot of other teams are playing their starters in the preseason game 3. So I had to question, why didn't we play our starters? Well, because they don't want to get injured. They don't want this. Antonio Pierce said they're not going to play. He believes in them. But, okay, I get it. But there's a quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh between two better quarterbacks, technically, than we probably have. And they're playing in the preseason game. Brock Purdy's a Super Bowl quarterback. He's playing in the preseason game. Devontae Adams is not playing in any preseason games. But at least with our quarterback competition, I don't know. We're in a new system. We got a new offensive coordinator. I might have thought about Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell playing, even though Gardner won the job. But technically, there's no reason for Gardner to play because he already won the job. But again, if you have belief in Aiden O'Connell, maybe he should have played. Long story short, it was just an interesting thought because I'm looking at a lot of other teams that are playing their starters. So once I found out the 49ers starters were playing, I was like, ah, shit, we're going to get crushed in the beginning of the game. Because they got their starters and we're playing our backups, and our backups haven't looked so good. And we did. I think they took the lead 14-0 or 17-0, and it was happening just like I thought. But man, our young guns, right before halftime, started creeping back in the game. The Raider crowd was getting into it. I saw Devontae and Max Crosby chalking it up on the sidelines, rooting for the players on the team, around that time, around halftime. And they were having a good old time, and that energy carried over. Nathan Peterman had some good plays. I'm sure I remember him driving us down there to score, or driving us down a couple of times, maybe for a field goal. But we had a big special teams play. I forget the guy's name. Travis McAllister. That was a beautiful 82-yard punt return. That was fantastic to see. That was fun. Raider Nation was going wild. Then on the next play, kind of sucks. We didn't even have time to celebrate. Because on the next play, we kicked the ball to them after we scored in a kickoff, and they take it 92 yards onto the 2-yard line or whatever it is, and then they score up the middle on a run play. And early on, our run defense was horrid. And I still ask the question, where's that? I'm sorry. Where in the world is Tyree Wilson? He goes from town to town. He goes from college to college. He gets injured all day, and he doesn't appear to have knowledge. He tries to get the QB, but he struggles all the time. He's got no big moves. Is he a waste of a line? I don't know. Where in the world is Tyree Wilson? So I just had to ask the question. I didn't hear nothing about him today. Did he play? I don't even know. But I'll leave that for another day. Dylan Lobb, the running back that I've been rooting for, finally got some good plays. But then he fumbled the ball after a nice catch out of the backfield. Raiders recovered a couple of turnovers. We finally got our first sack in the preseason early on, in the second quarter. And then I think we ended up the day with 5 sacks entirely on defense. So that was nice to see. But long story short, Carter Bradley came in, and he was balling out. He knows that Nathan Peterman has the edge because he worked with Luke Getsy. Carter Bradley was coming out. He was doing as best as he could. He had some mojo. He grabbed his balls through the fire. He grabbed his weapons and desire, and he said, I want to score and make the team and make it close in the end. And he did just that. And Raider Nation was fired up. We were about to take the lead. I believe the score might have been 24-21. It's 2 minutes left or 4 minutes left. I don't know when it was. Can't remember. But long story short, Carter Bradley drives the team down to the field. I think they get to the 2 or 3 yard line. And it's now 3rd down. Carter Bradley misses a pass to a tight end to take the lead in the game. Raider Nation is, right before that 3rd down, Raider Nation is cheering. They show Max Crosby, Devontae, Christian Wilkins rooting their team on. They got helmets over their heads. They're like, come on, let's go Raider, let's go Raider, let's go Raider. I'm a Raider, Las Rocas. I'm a Raider. And the crowd is cheering them on to get the touchdown on 3rd down. Then he misses his tight end. He misses it, and he fails. Then you hear the crowd go, oh. Well, you still hear a little bit of cheering. Then Carter Bradley looks at Coach Antonio. Let me go. Let me go for it. He pulled his balls out, and he asked Antonio for all that passion and pride to go for it. And then I kid you not, on the camera, right after he's yelling at Antonio to go for it, the camera turns, or the camera cuts to AP. I kid you not. Watch it again from NFL Network. AP goes with a wink. I got you, Carter Bradley. I got you. This is your moment. Score on this 4th down. Go for it. Win in the end. Carter Bradley going to win in the end. And now Raider Nation is, yeah! AP made the right choice. He did. You know I'm critical of choices, but when they are right, they are right. He believed in his player. He knew it was big. The Raider Nation crowd was cheering. The legends are standing up. The players are like, let's do it. even though they could have kicked the field goal to tie the game, that's not the moment you do that. You do exactly what Carter Bradley wanted, and you let him go for it on fourth. So with a wink, after he was saying, let me go for it, let me go for it, Antonio Pierce said, what does he do? Interception. Ah, shit! All that momentum, all that energy was like, yeah, go for it, hell yeah, let him give him a fourth down. Raiders are gonna win, ah, shit. Typical Raiders. He throws an interception. And they get the ball back. Man, Carter Bradley would have made a lot of teams if he had only made those final two passes, the one on third down or the one on fourth down. Oh, but I love the excitement. I was excited as well. That was one of my favorite moments this entire preseason, was witnessing the crowd cheer, Carter Bradley grabbing his balls, Antonio Pierce giving him a wink, and then it was followed by a really bad moment because I was so excited. But I'm used to being let down. Why? Because I'm a Raider. And, this ain't nothing new. It's all good. I'm not overreacting. All right. Now that I got that out of the way, 49ers took the ball down the field with Josh Dobbs or whoever they had in there. They had a field day running the ball against us. They had a lot of good plays. And then toward the end, when we were kind of stopping their drive and they were getting into scoring range again toward the end of the game, referees missed a blatant offsides. Everybody could have saw it. Everybody did see it. But apparently the referees were blind. Then there was knowledge that one of the referees, before that play happened, was taken out of the game so they can test scenarios. So they had less referees on the field to miss that call. Isn't that in true Raider fashion? Thank God that didn't happen in a playoff game or for a Super Bowl where they take a referee off the field and they miss an offsides that would have gave us the ball. But in a good way, Antonio Pierce had a lot of different scenarios as a head coach that he had to figure out in today's game, whether to let them go for it, to keep driving, whether to punt the ball, whether to pass it, what quarterback to put in. It was a really good learning experience. And at the end of the game, Antonio Pierce started taking timeouts while the 49ers were driving and they were ahead 24-21. Now, most people might look at the first preseason game versus the Vikings and say, let the fucking do it, Antonio! Call him timeout! Not this time. I understood this time exactly why he was calling timeouts. Because there was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, close to 3 minutes. They only had a lead of 3. If they, we call timeouts, hopefully we stop them from scoring and hold them to a field goal, maybe with 2 minutes left or a little less than 2 minutes. Then they're only ahead 27 to 21. So we give Carter Bradley another 2-minute drill to hopefully take us down and score. If we stop them and they don't go for a field goal or whatever happens, then the score is 24-21. And hopefully we get the ball back with, like I said, a couple minutes left. And we can get into field goal range and tie the game. Or score to win the game. And that's exactly what happened. Antonio Pierce took the right timeouts at the right situation. He had a fantastic day as a head coach in situational football. If you watch this game again, if you're trying to win, which they were, every moment he had was focused on the game, the game management, the time clock, and all that other stuff. Then he had belief in his players at the right moment and gave him a wink, even though that player failed. And then we got the ball back. That might have been before that interception play that I just mentioned earlier. My timing is a little bit off-put because I'm dealing with some personal issues. But still. Then there was a final play of the game where we thought the 49ers, they got the ball back, and they had like 30 seconds left on the clock or 15 seconds left, whatever it was. And we thought they were just going to run the ball, end the clock, they're going to win 24-21. But no, they played situational football, and they went for it. And then there was like a crazy ending play. And there was going to be a Benny Hill ending. Hey, throw the ball here, throw the ball there, throw the ball here and everywhere. Kick the ball. And I was like, oh, shit. They're actually going to score. When they were actually stopped, after we tied the game 24-24, they had a Benny Hill play where I was like, oh, no. We did all that work to tie the freaking game. And there is no overtime in preseason. That was changed a couple of years back. But at least we tied the game, and they went for the tie instead of letting Carter Bradley again on a fourth down do it. And we got the tie with Daniel Carlson. And I believe there was one point on that drive, we were at like the 42-yard line. And before Carter Bradley got a few more yards to take it to the 32 for the field goal to tie the game. There was a moment, they actually showed Antonio Pierce on camera, and he told one of his coaches, maybe one of the special teams coaches, hey, get Daniel Carlson ready. No matter what happens here on this next play, Daniel Carlson, we want him ready for maybe a 60-plus yard field goal. Because if you're at the 40, that's like a 56-yarder. And then if Carter Bradley got sacked or fell or lost 2 or 3 yards, that would have been a 60-yard field goal to tie the game. And I believe Antonio Pierce was going to get the tie no matter what. He wanted that tie. So he told one of the coaches something, and I believe that's what happened. But we got the tie. Then there was a Benny Hill play where they possibly could have scored to actually win the game against us. It's insane and scary. And there was moments where you're like, no way. We did all that work to tie the game, and we tied it. We came back from probably 17 points to nothing with a third stringers or fourth stringers. And then now we're going to lose on a Benny Hill type play where they pass the ball and run it into the end zone. That was scary. But it was exciting. Raider Nation got their money's worth. Whoever got the tickets was able to go watch the game. They got their money's worth. Raiders tied the game. All I can say is I'm proud of this young team. These young players were balling out to the best of their ability, trying to get film, trying to get tackles, trying to get on this team, any team. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's what I saw. That's what I saw. I saw Raider football. You guys are like, what? We only tied the game. It's just win, baby. But I saw Raider pride, y'all. I saw Raider pride. The first quarter and in probably till the end of the second quarter, nothing was there. Was that Nathan Peterman to blame? I don't know. You guys have to go back and look at the tape. I believe he will be the third string quarterback because he has a familiarity with Luke Getsy. Played for the Bears last year with Luke Getsy, and he is the veteran. But Carter Bradley showed poise and promise, made a big mistake or two, really big and bad. But, dude, he showed he had some fire. He did. He showed he had some fucking fire. Watch that game again, the momentums. That boy had some fire. I saw Raider football today. Coming from behind, trying to win in the end. And that's how we're going to have to be all season, Raider Nation. Let's be honest. We don't got the best team. We don't. On defense or on offense. We're going to have a good, if not great defense this year when all is said and done. And we're going to be in a lot of games. But our offense is going to have to score more than 20 points a game on average for us to win a lot of these games. And I'm a little nervous about our offense. So, what's the Raiders' final record going to be? Well, after watching this preseason, learning more information, I'm still going to say our ceiling and my prediction, but our ceiling is 10-7. I believe the Raiders' floor is 7-10. We're still going to win more than those damn media cohorts that said we only win 6.5 games or less. But the ceiling ain't that high, and our flow, our game flow, our floor is 7-10. But I'm hoping for the ceiling. And we all know Raiders have ups and downs. We had a down for 2 or 3 years, or with McDaniels, and I promise you, we're on the upswing. We're on the upswing. If Antonio Pierce went 5-4 with last year's team and Aiden O'Connell, technically we probably got a little bit better of a quarterback, and he went 5-4. If you double that, that's 10-8. So 10-7 is our ceiling. And no matter what, Gardner Minshew won more than 7 games last year. Antonio Pierce, if he had a few more games, would have won 7. So that's our floor. That's my opinion. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I just want to close it out with this. Our general manager, Tom Telesco, and a lot of Raider players and staff and legends were being interviewed on today's broadcast. And Tom Telesco was asked a question, and they asked him a question about whether or what the team needs moving forward, to go to the playoffs and build a winning culture. And Tom Telesco, with no hesitation, said depth on both sides of the ball. We need depth, on O-line, D-line, in the backfield, etc. We need depth. Then I just kind of laughed out loud because we got $37 million in cap space, and there's plenty of veteran free agents to add to this team that we can afford to create veteran quality depth. Why is he hoarding on to that money? That was my quick thought. But then some people on Twitter or X told me they're going to be looking at players that are cut from other teams, seeing if they can upgrade, but that's still not a veteran free agent. Or it might be, who knows. But and they're also looking down the line to see what happens. We will see. We will see. I still believe the Raiders are not going to buy any free agents that are going to cost a lot of money. And no matter what, and somebody else said they're saving for future contracts. That I can get on board with. I can get on board with that. But I don't think Devontae is going to get another contract that's worth $40 million. Whatever, I'll leave that there. You guys know the controversy. Check out my Devontae Adams videos. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the coming days. And to be quite honest with you, I hope we don't sign a lot of players that were cut or put off teams unless they're from really, really winning teams with they have a lot of depth. Because I want these young players that fought for a roster spot on this team, I kind of want them to stay with the Raiders so we can build from within instead of always going elsewhere. But there might be a free agent or a player that's cut of really maximum value that you have to take that person, even if they were cut, and give them a chance. I understand that. But hey, that's my views of today's game. Please let me know down below if you enjoyed today's game, what your thoughts, who your MVP was, and your final thoughts of today's game. It's a wonderful time in Las Vegas right now. It was a great game. The legends are out there partying. And enjoy your weekend if you're out there. Have a beautiful time. And my MVP for the game is It's probably that Wilkerson kid. Not Wilkerson. McAllister. Because he had 2 touchdowns. He caught one. I thought it was Christian Wilkerson who caught both touchdowns. But no. McAllister had that 82-yard punt return, and then I believe he's the one that caught the Bradley Carter pass for another touchdown. So he had two touchdowns on the day. So look out for the McAllister kid on this roster or other rosters. I mean, he's going to have to beat out somebody on this team to make the final wide receiver spot and one of the special team spots. Could they cut Dylan Lobb? I don't know. The cuts are going to come in 2 days. I'm not going to have any time to make another video before then, but we'll talk about the cuts after. But yeah, that McAllister kid, he brought his Raider pride, and so did Carter Bradley. I'm proud of this team. I'm Mikey Raider. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider, and I'll see ya on the next video.